Hey everyone, it's Alex here, and today I want to talk to you about what we're really doing when we are saying that we can't afford something. So in my work as an online business coach and mentor, I often speak to people who would really love to make a change in their life. They'd really love to start an online business and have more freedom and flexibility and stop trading time for money. But sometimes I speak with people and the reason that they give for not getting started or for not taking any steps to move forwards is that they can't afford it. And I want to say that this is actually complete nonsense. So before I get into it, if you would like to hear more videos like this, if you're interested in starting your own online business, then do subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time I shoot a new video, because I'll be making many more like this, and I want to help as many people as I can to escape the rat race and create their own online business to give them a life of freedom that I have created for myself. So let's get into it. So now, I totally get it. Don't get me wrong. I know that there are situations where sometimes money is really tight and you've got people who are dependent on you, you've got mortgages or rent to pay, all that kind of thing. And it can seem as though there is literally not enough money for the month. And, when I started my online business, I was in a similar situation. I didn't have a whole ton of savings. I had actually just finished a contract and I was between work. So I didn't even have a stable income coming in. And it was challenging. But the reason I want to what I want to explain, and the reason I say that it's like nonsense, is because it really is just a case of priority. So let me give you an example. If say for example, you have a car and you use your car to get to work. Now, if your car broke down tomorrow, you would probably, I would say almost definitely, find a way to get to work. You would make it a priority because you felt it was something you absolutely had to do. And then I pretty much can guarantee as well that I reckon you would also very quickly find a way to get your car fixed, especially if you really needed that car for your work. So another example, if your boiler was to break tomorrow and it's the middle of winter, you would find a way to get it fixed, because otherwise you're going to be freezing in a house with no central heating for however long. So the point I'm trying to make is that it's not necessarily that we can't afford to do something, it's that we haven't prioritized it enough. We haven't put it high enough on our list of things that we want to do. And that's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. And we can be honest with ourselves about that and then look at it and say, well, if I'm saying I want to, for example, start an online business, or, we could take another example of like, I want to join a health club and get fit, but I can't afford it. Well, if you're saying you want to get fit and you want to join a health club and, maybe get a personal trainer or whatever, but you're saying you can't afford it, the real situation is that you're not prioritizing it enough, because if you did, you would find a way to make it happen. And, I'm going to presume that you're pretty safe right now because you're watching this YouTube channel. So you've probably got a roof over your head and food in your fridge and the internet. So you're pretty much in the top richest, most rich people in the planet, on the world. You are in the percentage of people that are considered wealthy. And I know it may not seem like that all the time when the bills are coming out and there's mouths to feed and that kind of thing, but the reality is that it's just a case of prioritizing. So how do we fix this? How do we solve this? Now, the first thing is to really get clear about what your priorities are. So if you say, for example, you're in a job and you love your job, then yeah, it's probably not a priority for you to start an online business. But say, for example, you've been working in the same career for 20 years, or you've bounced between different jobs and different careers for X amount of time, and you're feeling unfulfilled and unsatisfied. You're feeling like, you're not making a difference in the world and you've got more to give, and you want to have a bit more of a legacy to leave behind you, at the end of your life, and you just don't see how you're going to be able to do it in the job that you're in. Maybe you don't like your boss, maybe you're fed up of being told what to do every day, or maybe you're just unhappy with the lack of time that you have for yourself and for the things that you'd rather be doing, instead of working on projects that you don't even care about, So if you're in that situation, then you might be looking at alternative solutions. And in this day and age, online business is that, there are a couple of business models that are the best business models that you can start today. You can build them up around your job, so that you can have something successfully running before you walk away from your career and replace that income. So if that is something that you want to do, and you're like looking around at education, trying to find a way to make this happen, to get the help that you need, to get the support that you need, and then you come across a platform or an online course or something where you have to pay, and then your immediate reaction is, oh, well, I can't afford it. Now, the problem with this is that as soon as you say, I can't afford it, you literally have like stopped the mind. There's nowhere to go from there. Yeah, you have literally you've just eliminated all possibilities. Now, if you was to reframe and try to have a different perspective and ask a different question, then you could actually open up to the possibilities of how you could afford it. So for example, instead of saying, I can't afford it, you could try saying, how can I afford to do this? This is something I'm really interested in. This is something I really want to do. How can I make this happen? How can I get the money? What can I do? And once you change that into a question, do you see how it already feels really different? Because straight away the mind starts to try to answer the question. Your mind will start to come up with answers for you. And what I recommend for anyone in this situation is to, make a list of at least 10 ways that you could find the money to do something that you want to do that you previously thought you didn't have the money for. And this can be applied to anything. It doesn't have to be to do with online business or health and fitness. It could be a dream holiday that you're trying to save for, and maybe you've been telling yourself you can't afford it, and so it doesn't happen. But what you can do is ask yourself how, and then start to write down some ideas. So for example, if you have a car, maybe you could drive for Uber and earn some extra money. Maybe you could ask for overtime at work and earn some extra cash. Maybe you could do some babysitting, or you could sell some stuff that you have in your house on eBay that's been lying around that you just don't use anymore and somebody else would maybe love to have. Maybe you could ask someone to borrow you some money. You could get a loan. Now, just off the top of my head, I've already come up with 6 possible ways that you could make more money. So if you was to actually sit down and spend some time working on this, I'm pretty sure you could come up with at least 10 ways that you can make extra money in order to do the things that you want to do. So I really hope that that's helpful. I hope that that gives you a different perspective on how you can look at this, and just be honest with yourself. If it's not a priority, for you to spend the money on it, if you'd rather spend your money on something else, then that's fine. Just accept that, and that's the way it is. So that's all from me today. If you got any mind shifts, or if you have any thoughts about this video, and if you want to share them or ask any questions, then I'd really love to hear what you think. So please do leave them in the comments below, and I will speak to you soon on the next video. Bye for now.